Welcome to the channel. I'm going to make a brief tool video for you guys just coming into the trade. What tools you need, the purpose of every tool. So the first thing you need to buy is you need to buy yourself a sheet metal hammer. You won't find one in a big box store. They pretty much only sell them in supply houses. So you can check the online supply houses or what you have available to you in your area. They also make this one in a leather handle, but it's about 30, 40 bucks more. I never really buy the leather handled ones. I do own one, but I don't take it out of the house anymore because I've lost so many of them. But your personal preference. Shop shears. You need a pair of these if you're going to cut a transition on site or if you're working in the shop. You can't cut full lengths of metal with offsets or aviation snips or anything like that. Offset snips. Reds and greens. Reds are rights, greens are lefts. I like this particular brand. These are Midwest, but mostly all sheet metal tools are made by Malco. I'm not here representing anybody's brand. Bulldogs. You need these for cutting through slip or cutting through a Pittsburgh lock. You don't want to cut through them with your regular lefts and rights. You'll end up springing them, snapping them, and they just get ruined from doing it. So definitely get yourself a set of Bulldogs. Snap locks. Snap locks are used for fixing a snap lock on a piece of ductwork, putting a head on. I use them for putting on the end of a piece of duct. I'll put 2 snap locks on the end of a piece of duct, and then this way when I pop the slips on, they don't fall off in transport or when I'm trying to put another piece of duct on. So just so you guys see what that does. So those are good to have. You don't necessarily need them, but notchers. Notchers come in 3/4 and 1 inch. I always buy the 1 inch. I really don't have a use for the 3/4. So they're go-to. Crimpers. Crimpers are used for crimping flue pipe, smoke pipe, whatever we're calling it these days. I guess smoke pipe's on a wood stove and flue pipe's on a furnace. Definitely got to have a set of crimpers. That is a go-to. You can't do without them. Hand seamers, duck bills, whatever you call them out west. Up here in the Northeast, we call them hand seamers. They come angled, they come straight, they come in 3 inch, they come in 6 inch, so there's a bunch of different ones. Bar folders. 1 inch, 3/8 for bend and drive, 1 inch on the other side. They come in 12s, 18s, 24s, and I think even a 36. That's a must-have. You all know what a marker is. I don't need to explain that, but get yourself a fat marker if you're working in the shop for market stuff. Fine markers if you're out in the field. Scratch awl, if you prefer to do a scratch instead of a marker. I'm getting old, so I'm using a marker now, even though I used to despise using a marker to lay out anything. Marking gauges, get yourself 3 or 4 because they tend to disappear. Dividers for making radiuses on metal when you're laying out. Steel rule, 4-footer, you need it in the shop. You don't really need one out in the field. You can get yourself a tape measure, work just fine. Trommel points are the same thing as the dividers. You just use it to make bigger arcs. Then definitely get yourself a square. You'll use it for layout for triangulating sides. We'll go over that in another video when I start showing how to make transitions, but you definitely need it, even if it's just a cheap $4 one. But as I said earlier, most of these tools are made by one company, and I'm not here representing anybody. And most of them you won't find in a big box store. I wouldn't buy any tool at a big box store. I would just go to your local supplier or an online supplier and get what you need. With that said, that's the end of the video. Hope to see you guys back. Thanks for stopping in.